Having trouble with your garage door? Problem solved. Call Direct Service Overhead Garage Door Company. We're your go-to team for garage door repair, new garage doors, openers, and more. We offer same-day service. We're always ready when you need us. Best of all, you can book your appointment online or talk to a live operator 24/7. No machines, no waiting. So whether it's a broken spring or a brand new garage door, trust the local experts at Direct Service Garage Doors. Call us today or visit directserviceoverhead.com.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Monday Night Lights live on, good Lord, we're already halfway through the month, March 16th. And you know what? We're as close to being on time as we ever are at 6:32. Appreciate everyone for hopping in here. Make sure, as you guys are getting in here, make sure you like, share, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and make sure you hit the notification bell as well. We have we got a lot of stuff to cover, and some of it may not even actually be on our topics list that we're going to post on the screen. Could be a little bit of everything. So yeah, Tim, man, feels like it's been too long. How you doing, man?
It's definitely been too long. I'm doing great. I got lost. I was on Instagram and I found Tusk Talks something or other, and I was like, "Is that Ty?" And I realized it was just another imitator. I got onto YouTube and I saw Hog Talk something or other, and I realized just another imitator. And then I was looking, man. And I saw another imitator out there, and I was just like, it feels good to be
the other podcast that doesn't make them imitators of the show, Tim.
Everybody's an imitator. The often imitated, never duplicated. Tusk Talk here with great Ty.
Man, there's some great shows out there, man. I go into some.
I didn't knock any of the great shows.
Oh, there's some good other independent shows. It's not easy out in these streets, man. It's not easy. I mean, it is very saturated. That is very true. But man, there's some other good content creators out there. There really are.
There are.
Shout out to Adam Hall and his brother and those guys at Hog HQ. I love. Hey, man, they're great. They let us share content there. So,
well, I'm just all in good fun because controversy sells, and we want as many viewers as we can get. So. I'll say something like this, then people will jump over and see their response, and then the next thing you know, half of Arkansas is watching this battle, and we both win. Win-win.
If you say so. What up, Ty? Hope you're doing good, bro. What's up, Heartbroken Hog? How you doing, man? John Haas. What up, sugar? How you doing, John? Ty, I need you to talk about. Oh, here it is. I was telling you about this, Tim. I need you to talk about Twitter war that Nick Horton caused and your thoughts about it. Says Wade Smith. Okay.
Right out the gate. Okay.
Yeah, right out the gate. We are going to get into Acuff. The first topic is Acuff only player in NCAA history. Let's start there, and then we will get into the Nick Horton stuff, even though it's not on my list of things. I just saw it. I'm going to be real. This is no disrespect to Nick Horton. I have no idea who he is. I think he's in politics or something. I don't know, but he had something to say, and I was going to comment about it, but we'll get to that in a second. First off, let's start off with the very title of this show, Acuff only player in NCAA history to ever. This is actually pretty extraordinary, and I'm going to pull up my link here. This is from Hog Stats, who's quoting Sports Center. Let me share my screen. There it is. Per StatHead, through Sunday, Acuff is now the only player in the NCAA Division I men's history to have 750 plus points, 215 plus assists, with less than 85 turnovers in a season. He's at 757 points, 216 assists, and 71 turnovers. So if he turns it over 14 times, then he's out of this category. I don't think I see him doing that.
No.
I think he's gonna hold on to this, man. The greatness will continue through the NCAA tournament. Now let's hope he doesn't hit that 75 plus or the 85 plus turnover mark. Let's hope that's not because they get eliminated a little too early. Let's hope they stick it out as long as possible and he stays underneath that. That's the only way I see him getting above 85 is if they make it all the way to the championship game. Then maybe he's kind of floating in that territory. But he averages what, like 2 turnovers a game?
I was going to say he still has to have like 4 turnovers a game to get there.
Yeah.
That would be a situation.
He had 5 in the semi game, which is unheard of for him.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. So I mean, I know they're going to play probably some pretty good defensive teams in this tournament, no doubt about it. They might face one. Actually, their first matchup against Hawaii is a pretty good defensive team. I'm seeing some people try to make the argument here and there that Hawaii might be on, or they would put Hawaii on the upset list if not for Acuff and these guards. So mostly Acuff, but they're going to play some teams that are pretty good defensively that could shake him up a little bit. He has turned the ball over a little bit, a little more than I thought he would throughout the SEC tournament. As long as that doesn't carry over, I think he's good. And then I wonder if he does get above that 85, or if he matches it or goes over the 85 turnovers. I kind of wonder where would that put him in history? Would he be like, where would that rank him when you're talking about this specific stat that Hog Stats pulled up? Actually, StatHead pulled this up originally. So again, I'll say that one more time. Through Sunday, Acuff is now the only player in NCAA Division I men's history to have 750 points, which he's got 757, 215 plus assists with less than 85 turnovers in a season. So we still got a little ways to go. I'm assuming that means the entirety of the season. Obviously, they're including this because we just got through a postseason tournament. So obviously, this is through the stretch of the NCAA tournament as well. That's pretty outstanding, Tim. I don't know if there are enough. If I had a dictionary in front of me, I still don't know that I could find the right word that would describe the kind of year that he had for Arkansas.
No, no, I don't either. It's funny because everybody's calling Billy Richardson the GOAT, Billy Goat. And I mean, he's playing outstanding and he's the glue to the team, but hard to call him the GOAT and have Acuff on the team. It's
the Billy Goat. Yeah.
Who's the GOAT? Yeah.
It goes with it, right? Billy Goat.
Billy Goat. I know.
Goat.
It fits, except that Acuff's on the team.
Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. It's Darius A+ Acuff, or Darius Amazing Acuff. I don't know. Darius Captain Arkansas Acuff. There it is. Captain Arkansas. He could run for governor right now, man. I mean, he really could.
He could be the DA.
That is fair. That is absolutely fair. Again, make sure you guys, if you have any questions or comments, fire away. We might make this a call-in. We always flirt with that, and then sometimes we just don't follow through because you guys don't really act that enthusiastic about calling in. But if you want to call in, let us know. You can either tag me in Discord or you could tag us here. Although StreamYard doesn't highlight tags, the only thing that gets highlighted on their chat is super chats. But if you want to do a call-in, please let us know, and we'll I think you
owe Brim a call in still. I don't know if he's here tonight, but
he may not. I know he's got a crazy work schedule. I hope he's here. No crying in the morning beer today. Walking on cloud 9, says Randy Murders 1484. Yeah. Holy cow, King Acuff. I guess Fish is getting a little tired of my attempts.
I guess.
King Acuff. Okay. Doesn't really roll off the tongue the same, but I'll take it.
It puts him in this freezing with LeBron James, and I just don't respect LeBron James enough to do that.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. We got to stay away from that. That is very true.
Away from LaFlop.
Yeah. Cameron Gray wants to know how far do we go in the tourney? I know it's unpredictable. Yeah, we're gonna get to that too. We're gonna talk about all that. That might be a little bit later in the show, but we are gonna talk about. I might even pull up my bracket. I don't know how pleased I am with it or not.
Did you just fill out one?
I've only got one so far. Yeah.
Okay. I've got 4. None of them are going to be my official bracket.
Oh, so you're not going to go with an official?
No, I'm going to.
Okay.
Here's what I did. I went to Claude, ChatGPT, and Grok, and I gave them the exact same command just to see, like, all this AI, it should be pulling from the same places. And so all the command for all 3 of them was use deep analytics to determine the outcome of the NCAA men's championship. And I got 3 completely different. I got the same winner in 2 of them. 2 of them said Duke and 1 said Michigan, but the path for both Duke teams was entirely different. So, I did that, and then I looked at the bracket myself, and I was just like, no analyzing, no anything. Look at it and take your first pick, your first gut pick with no analysis, and I did that.
Oh,
and now I'm going to fill out an official one, and that'll be the one that I run with.
Well, there you go. I usually only do one because, and I know like you're supposed to do multiple, right? And you want to win the whatever site, whatever they're promising to people who finish with high brackets or whatever. So I know you're supposed to do I know people that used to do just dozens. They would fill out so many. I have only ever done 1 to maybe 2 at the most 3 at a time. It's the same thing with like fantasy football. It kind of takes away it takes away the fun of it for me. It's like, oh, well, you know what? Hey, in this bracket, I messed up and that's it. Like there's no other bracket. I messed up. And that to me is kind of fun because it's like, well, I got it wrong. But then you might get something right. Like I do have at the moment, I've got I think I have a round 1 upset. Or not an upset, but
hey, I think it was Claude.
Missouri over Miami.
I think it was Claude that said High Point's going to beat Wisconsin and made a case for it.
Oh, wow.
And that we would play Hawaii and then High Point and then Arizona.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, so that's where I did it. Whichever AI gets the closest to right, whichever one wins is the one that's going to get my subscription.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that might be the way to go about it. I don't know. Hello, everyone. Great day to be a Hog fan again, says Steven. All right. Lo-Fi says, oh, yep, here he is. Lo-Fi, no notification, but I'm here. Ty and Tim.
There we go.
Sounds about right. Notifications. I'm telling you guys, I still get DMs and people and text messages. Why am I not getting your notifications? I can only tell you the algorithm's just not my biggest fan. All right. So going back to this Acuff thing here really quick, there's a number of things we can dive into with him and the things that he has. For example, through the SEC tournament, this guy averaged 30 points, 4 rebounds, nearly 8 assists, and shot 50% from outside throughout the SEC tournament. I mean, I hope. Tim, do we fill this guy's shoes? Like how?
That's really hard to say. I don't think you. I don't think you can. I don't care who's coming in. I don't know that they can fill those shoes. They can be a different kind of player, but fill those shoes
from a point guard perspective. I mean,
point guard perspective, yeah,
that's gonna be tough. No matter who you're bringing. I know they've got some pretty big players coming in with this next class, and
well, and the chemistry. You have to say the chemistry between Acuff and Malik Thomas has been great. Malik has been willing to take a back seat, which I don't think anybody could have predicted, like to get 2 alpha guys. And Malik is an alpha guy. You can tell by the way you watch his old McDonald's games and his high school games, the way he talks trash. He's an alpha guy. And to be able to be put on a team with Acuff and take a step back and say, you know what, do your thing and let's go win. And then when I have to step up, I will. That's the question, I think, for next year's team. You've got some great guys, but are they going to be able to who's going to take a back seat and who's going to be the star?
Yeah. You know, another thing, I was actually going to make this a topic and I didn't, and it was about Brazil. How do you replace somebody like that? Now, I understand there's questions about him at times on defense. And there's questions about why does he, not quite to the Vanover effect, because Brazil's actually effective outside as a shooter. But like, why does he float around so far outside the post? Well, it's because he's doing exactly what Cal wants him to do. I've been in this argument with someone for like the last 3 years about Brazil and what he's capable of doing. We finally, Tim, I think this year, not even just in the SEC tournament, this year, although he did vanish at times, for the most part, I'm looking at him and I'm going, man, when was the last time we saw a player like this? And you can't say Gafford, because Gafford he didn't have an outside shot. He couldn't stretch the floor the way that Brazil does. With that wingspan, listen, this was again stat head on Brazil. He's now the 15th NCAA Division I men's player. Think about that. Think of all the amount of players that have played at that level since 1980 to 1981. He's the 15th ever to get 50 blocks, 50 steals, 50 assists, and 40-plus made threes in a single season. Some of the other names comparing him to, this is Duke's Shane Battier. I think I remember him vaguely. I know I'm butchering the last name. Cooper Flagg and Robert Horry in North Carolina's Danny Green. I mean, we're talking about Acuff. We're talking about, some other guys. How the hell do you replace Brazil?
I don't know. Robert Horry is the ultimate role player, which is what Brazil kind of is, the ultimate role player. He walked away from the league with, I think, 8 championship rings or something, more than Jordan. So
that's some NBA knowledge for you, kiddos. Did you see Brazil's conversation or Courtney Mims, the interview that she had with him in the locker room? Apparently he had offers to go elsewhere and make more money, and he decided to stay here. I don't know, and I think that's absolutely true, because first off, he's a super senior, and he's already, the potential's through the roof. I mean, at his best, he is an end of the first round caliber player. I'm not saying he's going to get drafted at the end of the first round. Who knows? Maybe the NCAA tournament, based on what he's done through the SEC tournament, if he continues that in the NCAA tournament, yeah, he's going to be in the conversation to be the back end of the first round, maybe even a little higher.
Whose system was going to highlight him any better than Cal's system? Where was he going to go, even if they offered him more money? Where was he going to go and get highlighted more than Cal's allowed him to be highlighted?
Exactly. And you think about why he was able to do that, it was because of Acuff and the guard play. It's because of the guys out on the wing, because Ewing can be a corner pocket guy, a wing guy. He could shoot from anywhere outside. Acuff's similar and apparently can make Hail Mary shots, like not quite Hail Mary, but falling backwards, making shots. It's just absurd. So, yeah, it's going to open a guy like Brazil up. And then, like you said, it's a role thing. Then he does the same thing for them, because then he's opening up lanes when he's stepping back and he's dropping dimes from outside. It's stretching out the floor. So they complement each other so well. Again, everyone's wanting to know where we're at on the bracket and how far we're going with Arkansas. I'm telling you, if Acuff, Brazil, and Ewing, and then Billy Richmond on both ends of the floor, if they do what they're best at doing, and they do it at the level that we've seen them do in the last 10 games or so, yeah, dude, I don't know how you stop Arkansas. I really don't. I know Arizona puts the fear of God in everybody, and also we're going to talk about. I want to know where you're at on this travel situation. If you think Arkansas got a bum deal out of that, Mike Irwin had something to say about it, and I think it's very interesting. But yeah, so if all these guys, including Brazil and Acuff, and hell, even Wagner, like you said, he's fine with being that guy coming off the bench, and he's done at times a pretty good job, and he can be a pretty good two-way player. My God. I mean, the potential of this team really is Final Four. I mean, it really is at its best when they're all – and I don't know that you could say that about every SEC team that's in this thing. I don't think you can. Florida, absolutely. I don't know about Alabama now, but yeah, there's this team. The potential is absolutely through the roof, and it does start with Acuff. But Brazil, again, we talk about how the hell do you replace Acuff? How the hell do you replace Brazil? I mean, again, and it's not just his numbers, but it's the athleticism, it's the reach, the length, his ability to block shots, but also alter shots. It makes you think twice about what you're going to do if you're going to dribble drive and and Brazil is sitting around somewhere near the post. Makes you kind of think a little bit. He's going to alter your look, and then he's going to end up with a block or a steal or something that's going to end up right back in the Razorbacks' hands. So he makes you think twice on offense. So at times, the defense can be there, and at times the post defense can be there when they're not getting completely pushed out of the lanes like Pringle does quite often. Get back to comments here really quick. TB, this is from Cole on the Sticks. TB impressed me this year. I couldn't agree more, Cole. I was very. I believe him when he says that he could have gone somewhere and made more money. I believe him. I don't know what he's making here. We know it's not Acuff or leak numbers. At least I don't think it is. But that's got to make you love him just a little bit more, like just appreciate him a little bit more. And you think about all the trials and tribulations that dude went through here between the injuries and all the, the Missouri trash nonsense that they were spreading about him. That's why I went on and on about the poop swats because that actually happened. That's factual. You could Google it. So they're going to shit talk him and start that off the floor rumor about him and Devo. Well, yeah, you had poop swastikas on your hallways there at Missouri. So, suck it. Golly, how do you
folks, you can't get it anywhere like you can at Tuss Talk with poop swastikas.
Oh man. Trying to scroll up here and read some of these comments. What's up, Ty SLR? What's up? Oh, we already read one of your comments. My own son just picked Georgia to beat Michigan. Okay.
Well, everybody's got an opinion.
I guess so. Yeah. I wanted to play this video about Coach Cal really quick. Well, before that, hold on. Because we got to address this Nick Horton thing. Because someone already mentioned it in chat, and if let me just share the screen here, and you guys can make of it what you will. Nick Horton. Now, again, Nick Horton, he's a founder and CEO of OPP Arkansas's premier policy organization. Commentary for Arkansas Online. Now, I am familiar with Arkansas Online, and I think that's a pretty. Yeah, it's the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the other one. There's another one that's similar name, and they're very political. They're very left-wing of the left-wing persuasion. I don't think Nick is here. Not that matters. What is the name of that? Arkansas? Maybe it's just like Arkansas News or something. It's a very similar tag to Arkansas Online. Anyways, he says John Calipari ran the Kentucky program into the ground, quit and walked away from a lifetime contract, and then inherited an Elite 8 level program from Musselman. And now everyone from the national media on down is acting like he's a magician for winning a conference tournament. It's honestly bizarre. People's memories are so short. Yeah, here he is. I guess he's on a radio show, News Radio 1029. So I don't know if you want to tune into his show and comment and tell him, hey man, we disagree. Tuss Talk. Here's what Ty had to say. I want your reaction to this first, because you kind of already heard mine before we went live, and I'll reiterate it here in a second. But I want your reaction to this.
Here's the thing: people's memories are short, but people's memories are also very long. Two things can be true at the same time. And the thing is, when you pull in these recruiting classes and you're supposed to be so good over and over again, and then you start out your season. This was a very Musselman thing to do, to go 12-0, 13-0 in the pre-conference part of the season, and then come into conference and lay an egg, look like crap. And we get to the SEC tournament And we're going, how many games do we have to win to get to the NCAA tournament? What do we have to do? How do we have to do? And you're constantly worried about that performance. What do we have to do to get to the NCAA tournament? Now, sure, people have forgotten that we made back-to-back Elite Eights, but they haven't forgotten the constant worry about, are we going to make it in the tournament at all? And so I think both things are true. Like, people have short memories about the success and long memories about the failures or the disappointments. I think that's true in life a lot. And that is my feeling. I think he's being a bit of a hater there. Here's the thing. What have we celebrated in the basketball season besides an Elite Eight? Nothing. 2018 was the last time, I think, that we made it to the conference championship. Am I wrong? 2001 is the last time we won it.
It was the last time we won it. Yeah. Last time we made it, wasn't it like 2016 or 15?
I want to say it was 18.
Was it 18?
I want to say it was 8 years ago, or maybe that's when he made it with Kentucky and we made it before that. But either way, just the failure after failure after failure. I think people just wanted something to cling to, and this trophy is something to cling to. And these guys, it's so hard to win a national championship. It's hard. And so these guys might not walk away with a championship ring from the NCAA tournament. I hope to God they do, but they're going to walk away from the season with something more than just good memories. They'll walk away with an SEC tournament championship. So I think there is something to that for the team, for the program overall. I think there's definitely something to that. And I think to say that Cal inherited this, well, Musselman never did it. Yes, he made the Elite Eight, but he never gave us something to cling to. So I feel like that's something that Cal brought to this team in 2 years. Are we complaining that in 2 years we didn't even have to question where we were going to be in the NCAA tournament? We're complaining about that? I mean, you tell me, Ty, because I'm pretty dang happy that before we played our first game, we already knew we were going to be a 5 seed.
Here's the thing,
a 4 seed.
Here's the thing. The national media, because it is Cal, is probably going a little bit more so than if this were any other coach, because it's Coach Cal. There's no denying that.
That's fair.
And they are absolutely treating Arkansas from a national perspective like we were just kind of nothing before Cal got here. And that is 100% incorrect. We had gone further in the NCAA tournament than most SEC. I think that every SEC team up until last year, or year before last, sorry, when when they didn't make the tournament. This, I don't know that I don't know if it's an Elite Eight level program under Musselman or not. I mean, that last year did happen, and it is unbelievable what Cal's done. You remember the whole, I got no team, outside of Brazil, but
thank you. You totally, I forgot about that. Mm-hmm. He didn't inherit. What did he inherit? Trevin Brazil. That's it.
Yeah, and that's where I just disagree with Nick on this, really, on that front. But he isn't wrong. Like, this shouldn't be, when you consider what Musselman did achieve, getting to 3 straight Sweet 16s and back-to-back Elite Eights. Like, really, how many teams are doing that no matter the conference? That's pretty, and I think that is special. You hang banners on when you get to the Sweet 16 or further at Arkansas, not just making the NCAA tournament, but actually getting there and making it to a named weekend, right? Or a named game, the themed game, which is the Sweet 16, Elite Eight, and then the Final Four, and then, of course, the championship game, and then whether or not you win the actual national title in the tournament. But the national media is treating Arkansas like it was kind of a dumpster fire, from what I could tell, from the optics standpoint, before Cal got here, in terms of like how they speak on him now. Whereas Musselman, he was great when he was here, and we know there was some back and forth between Musselman and certain media members, national media members, and we know that he had antics on the court side that people didn't appreciate and all that. That's fine. I actually kind of found it entertaining. But the way the national media is driving this, it's like Cal walked into a dumpster fire and turned it around, and that's not true. That is not true. This is not a dumpster fire program.
But a counterpoint to that is we have complained about the money, and we've complained about the people running the program, not necessarily the coach, but Hunter Yurachek gets checked on all of our independent podcasts all the time. So to some degree, there is a little bit of the dumpster fire feeling across Razorback athletics, even if it wasn't specifically basketball.
Well,
maybe the media is taking that and running with it on basketball too. But there's a reputation of the program and the reputation of the man on the top. So
yeah, but
that's something to consider.
It's something else to consider when a coach, because Musselman did have money. I mean, let's not sit here and act like he's pulling.
He didn't have any.
Like pulling Anthony Black and Smith and Walsh and these guys. I mean, come on, they're not just I mean, Musselman's a good recruiter, no doubt about it. But he had help financially. But if that were the case, that they didn't have any money and that's what they're running with, well, then it makes what Musselman did even crazier. And the fact that then the optics are, well, you can win at Arkansas with or without money. I don't know. I have noticed that. I've noticed even when Cal was hired. You can watch those videos. There's a prominent viral video after Cal got hired, and people were like, "He's going where?" It's like that one bad year that Cal had, or that Musselman had before he left for USC. That's just who we are. I don't understand, and that's always kind of bothered me a little bit. That's always been like a little chip on my shoulder. Like, no, hold on, put some respect on this program's name. They were actually the most successful SEC team in postseason play in the NCAA tournament in the 2020s. Cal didn't do that. Musselman did that. And you can argue that Mike Anderson built the foundation. He at least built the foundation, even if it had some cracks in it. He built the foundation and kind of, he got Arkansas fans a little bit more, especially after he was hired from Mizzou here. He definitely got fans more excited about the sport or about Arkansas basketball. But it was Musselman. Without Musselman, and if you'd kept Mike Anderson through those years, we know he wasn't going to advance in the tournament. Outside of maybe Chicken Man, outside of John Tyson, maybe pulling him here, I'm not sure that it's sold that he's coming here without Musselman's success here. I mean, really, the argument, the narrative was that Arkansas basketball is dead and gone. They're trying to be a football program. We know their baseball program's great. But their basketball program, I hated doing post games for Arkansas basketball for a while. I say hated. They weren't as fun because it felt like we were constantly talking about underachieving and it's time for Mike Anderson to go. Don't forget, that's when I was called a racist troglodyte because I wanted Mike Anderson. I said it was 8 years too long. It's too long. It's time to move on.
Yeah. So, but again, Cal, if that's all it was, is look what Muss did. He built it up for Cal.
I'm not saying that's all.
No,
I'm not saying that,
but it's in the chat. If that's all it was, then the minute he walked in and saw that Brazil was the only guy staying, the only guy on the team, one person on the team, he would have been like, I'm sorry, John, but even your money's not good enough for this situation.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have. There had to be something more to it than that. He knew the history of Arkansas. He knew the history of Arkansas and Kentucky. Yeah. That goes way farther back than Eric Musselman. I don't want to take away from what Musselman did, but I don't want to over appreciate Musselman either. Arkansas basketball was big, and Arkansas versus Kentucky was big before Eric Musselman was a thought as an Arkansas coach.
Not in the 21st century, though.
We ran through some bad coaches post Nolan. No lie. Stan Heath, I'm looking at you, and John Pelfrey hugging each other for how you eroded this program. But
yeah.
But Arkansas basketball, there's enough history there that thanks to Musselman for shining the crown, thanks for John Calipari for putting it on.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's fair. And I think that's perfectly fair. Just remember that when you hear the national media talk about Arkansas, about this basketball program, when they only mention Cal, they don't mention anything else. Just keep that in mind. Like there was of course. There's definitely some shade. It feels like shade being thrown at Arkansas. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little salty over the comment over what I've seen in the narrative of Arkansas basketball. And then I read what Nick said. And again, I don't agree with all of it. Of course, as far as him Like Kentucky pushed him out first off with the Wildcat. They pushed him out. Let's not sit here and act like he just gave up on him. It was the other way around. He was definitely feeling the pressure. I don't know what the relationship was between him and the higher ups at Kentucky University or at the University of Kentucky, but we know the greatness, and I hate to say that, but what he did at Kentucky pre-2020s, it can't go like that's hard to match. That's hard to match. I'm hoping that he can continue to do that here. Build off what he did a year ago, not the last years at Kentucky, what happened. Anyways, that's where I'm at with it. I don't fully agree with Nick, but and I'm not even sure I agree that it's an Elite 8 level program or not. I think if you go there back-to-back years, maybe you are an Elite 8 level program. What makes you that, right? It's getting there more than once, and he did it twice in a row. And he had some of the best teams we've seen since Nolan. Unfortunately, during the season, and you're not wrong, there was definitely some underperforming during the season for sure. But man, that postseason success, it is just so much, and it was definitely nice to see. And to be fair, I mean, Coach Cal last year did what in SEC play? Started off 0-5, right? So, I mean, it's good that they finally, in this year, they finally had like a really, really good year in regular season. And then obviously winning that SEC tournament, such a big deal. That is huge. And that can't be undersold either. However, I would also have been fine with Arkansas if they were a one and done in the SEC tournament and they go on to yet another Elite 8 or who knows, right? A Final Four, So it's kind of whichever way, whatever you want to put stock in is what you want to put stock in. I remember when we would make Elite 8s and Final Fours and stuff just to lose to Kentucky
or North Carolina.
Or North Carolina, especially under Mike Anderson. This is also true. We have multiple Hall of Fame coaches in our history. They have 3. Arkansas basketball has 3 Hall of Fame coaches. I mean, not very many schools could say that. That's pretty incredible. And that is also the next pillar of off-season conversation is if Cal does leave after 4 or 5 years, who in the hell is going to fill his shoes? But that's then. This is now. That's a conversation for a later date and time. Cal, let's see. Cal has to get to an Elite 8 before we can say he expanded on what Muss did.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. Like I said, just the change from last year's 0-5 start to making it to the tournament to this year winning the SEC tournament. Yeah, I think we'd be wildly disappointed if we went out in the first round, but I honestly don't think that's an issue. I don't think we're going to. So I disagree because, again, we're not sitting here at SEC tournament time going, man, are we going to make it? Do we have to win 2 games? That bothers me every year. And for Cal to get us past that feels good. That's an accomplishment. I don't feel like Muss ever even really got us there.
Yeah, he definitely had his regular, and you're not wrong, man. I mean, there were years, especially with that roster, that lineup, even with like the injury to Nick Smith, you felt like this team should have gone further, in regular season play. Like, they hit too many bumps on the road. And then they're, what year was it? 21, 22, when they had a pretty solid regular season, got a good seeding, got a pretty high seeding. And, so it wasn't all bad during the regular season with him here, but definitely never won an SEC tournament, baby. Never won an SEC tournament. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I mean, it's something. It is something.
It's huge, dude.
Nothing.
Oh man. I'm like, I slept so good that night, but like it took me forever to go to sleep because I was just tickled. I was just giggling, thinking about the tears from the Wildcat fans. Oh, boo-hoo, shut up. Get out.
There were so many posts on Twitter. They were like, Arkansas just got the easiest road to an SEC tournament title. Well, that's what happens when you win and get the 4 seed or the 3 seed.
3, yeah.
The 3 seed versus your 9 seed because you didn't win.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know this off the top of my head, but I'm sure some of those years that Cal was successful in the SEC tournament, I'm sure they played some shit teams to get to a position to win the whole thing. to get to the SEC tournament. That's the benefit of being, a higher seeded player. Now I realize we, have since expanded to 16, and that's kind of changed the landscape of the SEC tournament.
But that being said, OU and Ole Miss were playing out of their minds.
Oh,
better
man.
than they played all season long.
Yeah.
Ole Miss won 4 games in the regular season regular conference season.
Yeah.
4. And to make the run that they made, we were not playing a fluke team.
Yeah.
They were playing absolutely out of it.
And Ole Miss too, right? I mean, they were, so yeah, I'm answering some DMs here. People are not happy with me. They're thinking I'm giving too much credit to Muss, and I'm like, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just telling you that we can't sit here and act like Arkansas was trash before Cal got here.
They weren't missing the tournament. We didn't fire him. He left. I mean, there's a difference. Yeah, I mean, are you talking about Cal? Oh no, you're talking about Muss. Yeah, we didn't fire him for underperformance.
Yeah,
he left. He went where he wanted to go. So it's not like he wasn't performing.
Yeah, he was doing good. You're gonna give him that year of grace. I still think he had his thoughts and his mind was elsewhere. You could see it, and I called it out in a post game, or not a post game. I called it out on like a Monday show, watching his post game, and I noticed, it was just different. Even after wins, it was just different. Something, and I remember saying as much, like, something's weird here. Something's not right with Muss. And then the rumors weeks later start bubbling up that he might be looking to leave. And that's when the Louisville conversation came in. Oh, he's going to Louisville. Louisville fans were sold. He was going to Louisville. And I said, no way. There's no truth to that. And I reached out to who I knew at the time that had some pretty good information. He said, there is no truth that he's going to Louisville. He couldn't speak to whether or not people were talking to Louisville, but he could say that he's not going to Louisville. And that's when I said he's going out west if he goes anywhere. And then the USC job opened up, and that was that, so, and it's, listen, at the end of the day, we're here talking about winning an SEC tournament, winning the SEC tournament and being a 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. We're fine. We're fine. In fact, he's now 3 straight years without making a postseason appearance. 3 straight years. He's missing on the NCAA tournament at USC. Sorry, Muss. Probably shouldn't have left the way you did. Ty, I think Muss will look back in a couple of years and regret leaving. I think you're right. I do, HB, because he had it here. He had it here. He may not have had the Cal John Tyson money, but they had the money and the resources. I don't know if they were being spent like they are now. I saw that tweet that they're spending something like $21 million on basketball resources. I don't know if you saw that or not. I don't have that tweet pulled up. And I don't know how factual that is, but if that is true, that's top 8 or so in the country. I'm pretty sure is what that tweet said. That's insane. It's showing, right? We're seeing it. So yeah, Blitz, you're probably not wrong about that. All right, let's, I wanted to play this. I wanted to play this video. Now, unfortunately, this video is going to cut us off. So I might just hold on. Let me see if I can pull this off here. I'll do this. Badoop. Okay. And now I'll play the video. It is about 1 minute and 11 seconds. You tell me. I don't know what to make of this. People are saying he's throwing shade at Kentucky.
Now, I kind of been that way and done all right at every school I've been at. So you could say it's wrong, or you can live with it. You could be peed off or peed on. I really don't care. And so this was for these guys. Can I tell them what I said in the pregame? So I said, guys, it's another game. We're trying to get better. Let's see where we are. We're holding our seed, and Nick Pringle in the back said, hell no. Bullshit. This is for a championship. And I said, if that's what you need me to say, great, let's go get this championship. I mean, this is about them. I've done this so long. There's stuff you do you don't even know. And I said it the other day. I don't have a rear view mirror in my car. I look one way, out, that way. And so the stuff, I've been blessed. I've been blessed that their families let me coach them.
Okay, let me pull that down. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I feel like I watched that clip. I watched the entire post game,
Okay.
and I feel like there's a little context missing from the front end of that. I can't remember what he said though, but there's a little context missing from the front end of that. Something about this is for the name on the back of the jerseys, not the front of the jerseys. I don't really think that he's taking a shot necessarily at any university, not at Kentucky or anybody, but I do feel like he was kind of making a point, like, schools, this isn't about you. I don't do this for school. I don't have loyalty to Arkansas. I don't have loyalty to Kentucky. I don't have loyalty to anybody. What I have loyalty to is my players. He said, it's for the name on the back of the jersey. And you see that because you see people like Wagner and Knox follow him where he goes. They didn't go to Kentucky. They went to Cal. And that's been something that's been claimed about him for a long time, but we've definitely heard it since he got to Arkansas, that he calls it Cal U, not Arkansas. Wherever Cal goes, that's Cal U, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I think he was alluding to. I don't think he was trashing Kentucky. I'm not sure how you feel about it, but I don't think he was trashing Kentucky. He was just pointing out that this isn't about loyalty to your school. It's about loyalty to these young men that I'm coaching.
Well, and you could say the same thing about Brazil, right? Sure. Brazil was the same way. You may have said that. Sorry, I'm trying to read chat. Brazil had again in that Courtney Mims interview was like, I was offered elsewhere, and I wanted to stay here with this program. I think he was saying he wanted to stay here with Cal. And I think too he knows he had an idea of how good this team was going to be. Yeah, I don't think it was shade at Kentucky. I think you're right. I think it was more about it seemed, I don't want to say selfless, just like, they're here for each other. I'm here for these guys. Kind of like the same thing he has said for years. I don't know that anything he has said here is anything he hasn't said anywhere else. Now, as far as so we're getting some mixed reviews in chat. God Gang says no shade at all. JD0257 says no shade at all. Lo-Fi says he's shit talking Kentucky 100%. Only way I could see, and I kind of thought this at first glance, and this is why I made it a topic, because it's like, oh, wait a minute, maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. The whole thing about not looking in the rearview mirror, but again, I think that's just him saying I look forward, like I'm moving forward. You don't hear him go on, and to be fair, you don't hear coaches that often, if ever, talk about previous jobs, whether they were fired at that place or not, like relative to the entire history of coaches talking to the press. Like, you don't very often hear them talk about the past, or because they were either ran off or fired or they moved on, whatever. Musselman did, but in a different way, in more of a complimentary way. Like he was really complimentary when he left Arkansas, when he was talking to the media in Southern Cal. And Cal, every time Cal's this way with opponents too. He's very much like, he's very complimentary of those coaches.
I love that about him, by the way.
Do you?
After you said that, I actually, I don't know if it was with you or with Travis that I commented. I'm like, or maybe on our group chat.
I think it was. I think I remember that. Yeah.
I love the way that he talks about the coaches after the game and gives them their flowers. Win or lose, he's like, this is where they came from. He knows, like, Ole Miss was 4-14 on the season, and look where they've come from. That's coaching. He's not just got talent. He's an actual good coach. He makes the point of calling that stuff out. I love that about him.
I do too. And I mean, look, look at the coaching staff, right? Like, that also could play dividends in the end. They might come coach for you. If things don't go good at Louisville or at whatever school, maybe, I don't know, in a few years maybe Pope is on his coaching staff if Kentucky runs his ass off too. I mean, who knows, right? I mean, give him his flowers. He's complimentary of these coaches. I kind of feel like listen, every interview he gives, and I'm saying this is smart. I'm not saying this is like selfish or anything like that. It feels like he's always recruiting. He's always trying to, like, one of my YouTube shorts that I did a couple of years ago or a year and a half ago was him talking to he was talking to ESPN and about all the millions of dollars his players have made. And he's talking about, and those are guys that I coach. And he's going on and on about this. And he's, and I think he might have that same angle with these coaches. Maybe he wants to poach their coaching staff. I don't know if he loses anybody. It seems like he's always got an angle. And I think too, he just is, that's his character. Like I think he's a good guy. We know he's a Catholic. He's a devout Catholic. And he talks about mass and all that. I think and not to say that if you're religious, that makes you automatically good, but he's certainly, I think it seems like he's coming from a good place. Now, I know there's going to be some Kentucky fans or a Memphis fan come through here, talk about, well, look at what he did as a head coach and, some of the stuff that he got in trouble for, blah, blah, blah. He's not Mr. Moral. And I'm not claiming that he is, but I do think he there's a level of respect with him, and he gives it to his players, his coaching staff, and also opposing coaches. And and there, I don't think he's shit talking. I got to disagree with whoever said that. I don't think he was shit talking to anybody. So,
I thought you were going to be pulling up a whole different clip when you showed me the headline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were going to pull up the clip of him talking about the placement in Oregon when after they made the announcement.
Yeah.
College Game Day or whatever, had a conversation with him. He's sitting at his house in Nashville because he has a house in Nashville. And so he was like, we're sitting there watching the selection committee, and then they call him and they put him on the screen and they're like, so you know where you're going? And he goes, well, is it in this country? Did they put our game in this country or did they put it in a foreign country?
Yeah.
And then he's like, did they schedule us for Wednesday? Because, that's what they would do to us. Like he's throwing shade at the selection committee. Like, you guys are going to crap on us on purpose.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
That was absolutely necessary. We're going to talk about that in a minute. That video
I thought you were talking about when you said must throwing shade. I was like, yeah, he was throwing shade.
I probably could have put that in there too. The reason why I made it that video is because that was kind of the narrative that, again, some other people were taking the angle for. And I at first glance, I did think, maybe he was. And then after watching it, when I shared it with you guys in the chat, I watched it again earlier and I was like, oh no, he wasn't. Okay. But no, this will actually make for a good topic because I want to see what everybody else says and what everybody else thinks. Cal did follow that up though. You're talking about his comment about, the selection committee. He followed that up last night at 8:53 with a tweet where you could tell he's like, okay, hold on, pump the brakes. He's like, we are excited to be in the tournament. And yes, in all caps, we're excited about going to Portland, a city that I have always enjoyed being in. As a matter of fact, one of the best players we ever coached, Terrence Jones, was from there. Looking forward to the trip, even though it is quite a distance. So he does still add that at the end. So I probably, you're making me wish I had actually put that in instead, but we are going to talk more about that here in a minute.
Tell me something, because I don't have it pulled up. I'm trying to pull it up, but you probably have it. What is Nebraska's seed?
Nebraska. There are 4.
There are 4.
Yeah. They're playing Troy in the first round.
They're a 4 seed, and they're playing in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And we're playing in Portland.
Again, we're going to talk about that.
Playing in Oklahoma City.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to talk about that. I don't want to give too much away because that is a topic. We are going to get into this bracket because I think it's absolutely worth talking about. All right. We have this part. Alabama's Aiden Holloway. And I wrote all of the damn it. That's supposed to be off team. Let me edit that. Hold on. Will it let me edit it? Off.
Well, that's temporary for now, right?
It is. He's not missing any time.
Hold on. Let's not pretend like this is any school but Alabama, where they cheat, where they pull guys from the NBA to play, that pull guys out of prison, let them take their guns and shoot people. This is Alabama. This dude is not off the team. You don't have to change that headline. Of the team means he's part of that team of criminals who get to play at Alabama regardless of what they do. If you put off the team, that's a lie.
This is the same guy. Yeah, all that happened and tried to pull a 42-year-old to come play with his team this year. I mean, obviously he wasn't that old, but Nate Oates he's a whack, man. He's a win, WAAC, win at all costs. That's what he is.
Dude is not off the team. I can tell you that right
He's
now.
not. He's not. We know he's going to come back. This is such a load of shit. So for anyone who doesn't know, this player has been removed from campus. This was. I forgot who tweeted this. I only have I copied the words, not the link. But he's been removed from campus in the wake of his arrest. The school announced, and is not going to be with the team as the U of A Office of Student Conduct. Once they do an internal investigation here.
Right. Internal being the key word.
Yeah, investigates his case. He'll be off the team until he goes through the school's investigation process. Give me a break, dude. We know exactly what this is. He's not going to miss any time. Nate Oates doesn't give a damn. Did you say that he would bring Saddam Hussein or someone like that?
I didn't say that.
Someone said he would recruit Saddam Hussein to come play basketball, or Osama bin Laden if he thought he could get some points in the paint. Bin Laden was like 6'6", who knows?
I mean, he could blow up Alabama basketball.
Yeah. Nate Oates is a win at all cost coach, and listen, he just fits right in at Alabama, does he not? He fits right in at Alabama. I will be shocked if this kid misses a single game, or if he misses a game, if he in their first round they just like, yeah, he's not eligible right now, he's not technically on the team, and then he comes back, right? Or he's probably going to be on the bench. He's going to travel with the team, and if they're struggling, oh hell, I guess we're going to have to play him. This is bullshit. Okay, he's like Tim said, he's going to play. There's no chance this dude. Again, I'd be shocked if they stick with this.
Find something wrong, and he gets in actual trouble. They'll just find a judge, just like they did for the NBA guy. They'll find a judge who will throw it out. Yeah,
well, see, this is Kerper saying, Ty, he can't leave the state. Just give it a minute.
Yeah.
Give it a minute. As if they didn't get how many different judges. No, this will be – he's going to play, Kerp. He's going to play. Your state sucks, Kerp. Alabama sucks. To be fair, God bless Kerp. He's in Alabama territory, and he's got to put up with those fans over there. But your state, they're going to absolutely find a loophole. Let's not sit here and act like if there's anyone that's going to do that, it's going to be Nate Oates. There's no doubt about it. So he's a scumbag. I don't know. I know. I got a funny text too, though, in this same group chat. They were like, yeah, but if Cal leaves and Nate Oates, if you heard he was interested, you'd take him in a heartbeat. No. Oh man, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right? What'd you say?
I said, but if it's football, maybe.
Yeah,
they can win at all costs, coach, in football right now.
Absolutely. Ty, check Discord. Okay, well, Kerp's he's gonna show me why I'm wrong. I ain't reading all that, dude. I got a show to do. I can't read something that's like 4 paragraphs long. No, I'm telling you, if they get a judge, if they get the right judge, they're going to do whatever they want.
Whatever they want. And don't think there aren't plenty of judges that graduated from Alabama.
Oh my God. We've already been through this, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe is he, I guess if,
he said, read it now.
I'm not reading that. No, sir. It's about how shady Oates is. I don't have, it's long. I mean, it's long. I don't want to read all that. Okay. Oh, well, okay. No, but all right. It's at least a bullet.
You can do a video that you can post, and not live video.
Well, it's really not
thing.
that bad. It just goes case by case of all the things that Nate Oates has done, and this is actually, and it's got little bullet points, so it's easy. It's not quite as bad as I thought. Brandon Miller delivers murder weapon to Darius Miles in 2023.
Right.
Darius Miles guilty of capital murder committed in 2023. Aiden Holloway arrested for carrying a pound of marijuana while driving before the 2026 tournament. Jaquan Walton arrested on gun and drug charges in 2023. Nate Oates shoves a Missouri player I remember that during a game. Are there not specific rules about that? About putting your hands on a player?
Should be. Bobby Knight rules.
Another douchebag coach. Nate Oates signs and plays Charles Bediako. Yeah, despite being ineligible after signing a professional 2-way contract. Yeah. People don't really talk enough about how terrible of a reputation Nate Oates has created for himself and his team at Alabama. 4 players have been involved in criminal offenses since 2023. Oates has put his hands on opponents' players, and he tried to illegally add a professional basketball player onto his team mid-season this year. And by the way, the difference, and someone asked us this, between bringing a Euro player and a college player, you sign at a college program, and the rules are just that. You cannot hire an agent, and you can't sign a deal with a NBA team and then come back. Those are the rules. So that was some of the pushback we were getting when we were talking about it. Well, now wait a minute, Muss and Cal did this with the Euro players and blah blah blah. It's a different scene here, and you can argue all this stuff with Nate Oates. You can say the exact same thing about Kirby Smart in Georgia.
I was just about to say the rap sheet for Alabama basketball is about as big as the rap sheet for Georgia football.
It's kind of wild, isn't it? It's just crazy. It's crazy. I mean, and this is all definitely a money thing. I mean, it's ruining everything, I guess. All right, Kerper, I'll give you your flowers. I'm glad I read that. Thank you. I thought, because you like to push back, I thought we were going to get some more pushback, and I didn't want to read through all that. I didn't want to back and forth. He had over a pound of weed. He was probably Nate Oates' dealer. I have no problem with someone smoking the reefer. I think it ought to be completely legal. That's my opinion. But yeah, man, it's against the law. So you don't do it, and there should be, you ought to be in some trouble with it. That's all. I'm not saying he ought to be thrown in prison, but if it's over a pound and he's a dealer, that might be a little bit different. All right. I thought this would be, and again, if you guys want to call in, let us know. We'll share the link. Here's the next topic. The SEC's got 10 teams in, you guys. 10 teams. That's the most in the SEC or in the NCAA tournament. Are you buying or selling SEC stock? Now, just because you get 10 teams in does not mean that they're all gonna. Obviously, they can't. Literally, cannot all make the Sweet 16 or whatever. But that is over the Big 10 with 9, the ACC with 8, and the Big 12 with 8. And is there another conference? And this is the XP. This is the post. This is for 5K XP for the post live comments, by the way. So Kerper and I don't know if other Mike is in here. If Austin, I know Austin's he's not in here. He's a replay gang member. John Haas probably part of the replay gang. So you guys, hopefully you get this far and you tell me, are you buying the stock of the SEC, or is it also possible that the SEC really, it seems like the top of this league is so much further ahead than the rest of the league. Maybe you're selling that stock. And if you aren't buying SEC stock, are you buying the Big 10, the ACC, or the Big 12? You guys tell me. Tim, I want your take on this too. Is the SEC overrated? Like, we watched them play a lot this year. And I know you watched as much ball as you could. I know you're a busy guy too. But are you buying the stock? Are you buying that 10 teams should be in and that, they're going to dominate the NCAA tournament?
I'm not buying that they'll dominate the NCAA tournament. Somebody's got to be put in, right? And I'm not one of those people who I don't like the group of 5 going into the football playoff when they obviously are not going to win those games. I don't care for it. Somebody's got to go into the NCAA tournament. So I guess it's fine for the SEC to do it, but I'm not sitting here thinking like I've seen multiple picks of Santa Clara over Kentucky, which I love.
Yeah.
Multiple picks of St. Louis over Georgia. And when those kind of things happen, when those kind of losses happen, that's when you start hearing the SEC's overrated. And you kind of have to agree with it. And so, no, I'm not buying that the SEC is just this dominant force of basketball like you've seen in football for every year until the last 2 or 3. I don't think that's the case, but it is a very good basketball conference. I like I said, somebody's got to get teams in there, right? And it seems like a pretty even spread, really. It's 10-9, 9-8.
Yeah,
The 4 big conferences.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like the SEC has 12 teams and nobody else has more than 7. That definitely would not be warranted. But I think 10 teams is fine.
I guess the question is, should so Auburn was left out, right? I'm not crazy.
Auburn was left out for Miami of Ohio.
That's
Miami
right.
of Ohio went undefeated until their conference tournament, so they have 1 loss. They're 31-1, but their strength of schedule is like
It's
186th or 250th, something ridiculously bad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like saying, well, what if I go undefeated? It's like the UCF fake national championship in football. I went undefeated against a bunch of nobodies, so now I'm national champion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, you're not. And
mm-hmm.
Miami of Ohio, no, they don't really belong, but let them prove that they don't really belong.
I'm buying the stock, and I am, and I don't know that 10 teams should have gotten in necessarily, but when you're talking about, and I might have this SEC brain, like comparing to past years when they were sending how many? 5.
Yeah.
I and so I don't know how many times, at least since 2019, and I know we had 1 year where we didn't have a tournament because of COVID, but the 2020 tournament was canceled. But the SEC just continues to show that with quality, some of those win at all costs, no matter what, no matter how scummy, with those quality of coaches, the league has gone up, and that's where they've been at in football. Now, I'm of the mind, I think the SEC in football is about to take a big step backwards for that exact reason. They're not hiring from other P4 schools. They're hiring from a group of 6 schools. And I don't know what to make of that. Either these are great up-and-coming coaches or, like Golish and obviously Silverfield at Arkansas and all that. We saw what happened with a former Louisiana Lafayette coach who took over at Florida, and we saw what happened there. And I think it's the opposite with basketball. They keep bringing in – I mean, there's rumors that wiretap Will Wade might be coming back into the SEC if that's even possible. And he's a good coach. He's a real good coach. And now you're talking about this era where you could pay players. You're telling me you don't think he could come in here and win? I'm not saying he's going to come in here and win the SEC tournament, And again, that's all bullshit. He may not come back to the SEC, but the caliber of coaches in this league, I think, are going to carry them in the tournament. And that's Cal. I don't know about Pope. Pope is, I don't know. Jerry's out on Pope. I think I have them.
He's a clown show.
I think I have them. I do have them over Santa Clara, but I have them out in the next round against Iowa State.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a tough draw, isn't it? That 7-2 draw in the second round. God, that's brutal. I don't know. Like Iowa State, I don't know that they might actually go pretty far. I'll get into that in a minute. But I think the quality of coaches here, and I can't stand Florida, but look at who that head coach is and look at the success that he's had. It's all around this league. Now, I don't know if A&M to me might be a little fraudulent. I don't know what to make yet of Bama, especially now if they do continue forward without that player. Who knows really how far they go? Actually, even before that news, I had Texas Tech beating them anyways in the second round. But I am buying the stock. I like some of these matchups, but then that is the other side of it too, though, right? Like some of these matchups just may not be that great, and that's not necessarily. That doesn't mean that team is bad. It is. There's just teams that are going to be matchup dependent, and I think Arkansas is matchup dependent. I really do. But yeah, I'm buying the stock, but I'm not. I'm kind of like you. Let's wait and see. But man, there's some pretty good potential here in this conference. There's some great potential here, and I actually my Final Four is pretty. I keep updating it throughout the day, and it's been a tough one. This is every year. I feel like this bracket gets harder and harder. It just does, because there's always someone you forget about. There's always some player that they picked up out of the portal that, oh damn, now he's healthy and he's having this huge impact at the end of the year. And look at what they do. Look at what they're doing in the NCAA tournament. Kind of like Jonas Adu for Arkansas, right? Mm-hmm. So you just forget about players, and so who knows? But I am buying the stock. I'm not overwhelmingly super confident about it, but I'm buying some of the stock. Hopefully it's not too high per share. Hopefully the shares aren't too high. But you guys tell me, that is the post live question. Are you buying or selling? Do you think maybe the SEC is overrated and they're going to be lucky to get anybody into the Elite Eight? They're going to be lucky to get anyone far. So,
I don't think there's any question Florida's going to go far.
Yeah.
They're not going to be lucky to get anybody going far, but some of these teams, some of these teams are just.
There's some tough matchups.
Like Missouri to me, I don't. They could lose to Miami, no problem.
They are playing somewhere though that's relevant, right?
Are they?
Yeah, they're playing in St. Louis.
Oh yeah,
the Enterprise Center. That's their backyard.
Which is crazy. Why does a 10 seed Missouri get their backyard? And
isn't that bullshit?
Portland?
Oh, see, it pisses me off. That's it. Yeah. And Arkansas's got to travel to Portland. To be fair, Hawaii's got to go pretty damn far too, but they're going to have
like equal distance.
Is what? Huh?
It's like equal distance.
Hawaii's
gonna fly to Oregon. It's gonna be a 5-hour flight, 4-hour flight.
I have no idea. Geography was not my strongest suit. I don't know, but I would think that Hawaii's further though, for sure.
It's all flight at the end of the day.
Well, and jet lag is a thing too, right? So that's the thing. Yeah. And so again, really quick before we get into this bracket, because that is, and I want to know what you guys are doing on your brackets too, by the way. Feel free to comment. Just remember, if you're going to do that, if you're going to try and get that 5,000 XP, you got to screenshot your response in the post live comment section. When we're done here, then you leave the comment, you answer the question, you screenshot it, and you send it to Discord and just tag me. That's it. A couple steps, tag me, you'll get your 5K XP. So make sure you guys do that. Yeah. So, okay. We'll venture into that category. We'll go ahead and, hog bracket thoughts. This is interesting. Now you don't have can you share your bracket on this screen? I feel like you can.
I can't share anything on the screen.
Oh, that drives me crazy.
It never lets me share. I have to put it in
the private chat.
Private chat for you.
Well, you could try doing that, and then I can maybe throw it up on the screen. You guys tell me what you think. So they're saying you're right about that. Where to go? Tim is right. It's a 6-hour flight from Hawaii to Portland. Is it really? So my wife flew to well, that's Australia. Okay, that's way different. Yeah, maybe it is. And for Arkansas, it's what? Is it 5? I know it's like I looked it up. It was like pretty sure it was about 5.5 hours or something. John Haas, and by the way, that wasn't shade at you. I love my replay gang, folks. I really do. Hashtag replay gang. I'm all about you guys. It's good to have you here live too, by the way. It's only a 5-hour flight from Fayetteville if you fly private.
Okay.
Oh,
same.
Yeah, about the same. 5 5.5 to 6 hours from Hawaii to Portland. Yeah. So what do you, I mean, it does still kind of suck though, does it not? I mean, you've got, like you already mentioned, you've got Missouri playing in St. Louis, man.
Oh, I hate it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I hate it. I hate that we have to travel across the country. It's disrespectful.
Why is it not letting me pull up my that's a play-in. That's why. Yeah, in St. Louis is playing in so St. Louis. I just looked at this. St. Louis is playing in Buffalo, New York. They're not in that same bracket. Is that right? Am I looking at that right? Oh my God. So Missouri gets to play there and they don't. I mean, that makes sense though, right? If you're going to do that, then you got to treat it that same way. I don't know. I don't get too, I don't get too bent out of shape about it, but it is a little bit when you see some of these other teams and where they're going and where they're playing, and Arkansas's got to go to Portland. It's like, what are we doing? They're going to have to deal with Antifa for crying out loud. They better bring their pepper spray. They better bring their pepper spray and get ready to pay $45 for a single Starbucks coffee because their coffee unions or whatever bullshit they got going on up there. Like, good luck. You might damn sure better not wear your MAGA hats up there if there's any MAGA. I mean, I doubt there are, but you guys better hit the deck as soon as you land. I mean, you're coming from Arkansas. They already assume we're a bunch of, I don't know, hick fascists down here. So you guys might want to be careful. I think you can have pepper spray up there. I know you damn sure your security won't be able to carry their guns. Or just blend in. Just wear like a, America is fascist shirt. You'll be fine. You'll be all right. Just, definitely don't have any other takes other than the way they think up there. But yeah, I don't know about this bracket, man. Here, I'll just go ahead and share mine. I'll throw it up there. They're Pacific. They're 2 time zones away, says Mac. Here it is. This is my bracket. We are gonna have a Tuss Talk bracket. We already have one. It's private right now. I can't make up my mind if we're gonna do Patreon or if it's gonna be open to everybody. I don't know. But this is it. And here's where I have. Why did Arkansas? There. Okay, Arkansas over Hawaii. I've got Arkansas over Wisconsin, and then I have Arkansas over Arizona. I changed my mind. I've changed my mind on this like 4 times today. I am so split with Arizona. I mean, good Lord. They were number 1, like what, most of the season. Top 3 most of the season, if I recall correctly. And if you could beat Arizona on a neutral floor, then by God, you're going to beat Purdue. I just don't think this is the same. I'm a little bit surprised Purdue is a 2 seed, to be honest. I'm not saying they shouldn't have been top 4, but I don't know that I buy their 2 seed.
That's a bold prediction.
Yeah. And you never know, right? I mean, once the tournament, who knows? Maybe this Arkansas team is fraudulent.
I do love what Cal said about it the other day. He said he told the guys the first game is the important one.
Mm-hmm.
The first game, you get past the tournament, postseason jitters, and all that. The rest of the games are just games.
Yeah.
The rest of the games, according to him, the way that he coaches, the way that he talks to the players, the rest of the games are just games. Let's get past Hawaii, and everything else will just be playing within the system that we usually play in. We just need to get past the first one. So,
well, here's the question: is this team better than last year's? And I think they are. I think they obviously are. And they should have been. That was an Elite 8 caliber team that lost in the against Texas Tech. And I thought they were better than Tech last year. They're definitely better than Tech this year, in my opinion. I realize, the season, it ebbs and flows, and sometimes teams just get hot at the right time. I kind of think Arkansas is hot at the right damn time. So, yeah, I've got Arkansas in the Final Four. Now, I do have them losing to Michigan because, my God, I've watched Michigan play, and I like them a lot.
Yeah.
and I've got Duke over Florida. See, I'm buying in on the SEC. I mean, I've got 2 SEC teams in the Final Four, and that's saying something. I definitely have Tech over Bama for sure now. Tennessee and Virginia was one I kind of struggled with. I don't know a ton about Virginia. I only did a little bit of research. Tennessee has not been playing their best ball lately. That is an interesting 6-3 round 2 matchup. Iowa State to me could be the big surprise here. I don't know. I don't think that it's unfortunate they're in the bracket with Michigan. That's unfortunate. Iowa State's actually, I think, really good. Who knows, man? Maybe Pope gets these guys fired up and they get past them. I don't know.
Pope's not even going to beat Santa Clara. I bought into that as soon as I started seeing. So as I'm the way that I did my bracket, and this, like I said, it's not my final official. This is my gut reaction. I had ChatGPT do a bracket. I had Grok do a bracket. And I had Claude do a bracket. And I had them explain to me why they chose the teams they chose each time.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember what it said, but once I started seeing it, and then 2 out of 3 picked Santa Clara to beat Kentucky.
Yeah, that is an upset.
I mean, I can actually buy into that, and so that's what I did in my gut reaction bracket. Now I'll go through and take a look at these myself probably tonight and fill out my actual official, like, this is what I really believe is going to happen. But I just sat here and I was like, Arizona versus Long Island. Don't think about it. It's Arizona. Don't think about Villanova versus Utah State. Just choose one. I chose Utah State. I kind of went through and did that. Just after watching what the different AI models did. And I have Arkansas going to the Elite Eight. I have them losing to Purdue.
Okay.
So I have Purdue and Michigan in the Final Four, and Michigan State and Houston in the Final Four. And I'm not buying into the SEC. So.
Oh, you're not buying into the SEC?
Although I have a Florida Vanderbilt rematch.
Yeah, I can see that happen. McNeese is another one, though. I don't know, man. I know that 5-12 can be tricky. I think I've actually got all the 5s winning, though. I think I have 5s. Yeah, I got St. John's.
Because I respect a lot how Duke Miles has played.
Yeah.
And the way Tanner played. I mean,
they're guards. Yeah.
They're as much a guard-driven team as we are. And their guards are not shabby. They can hold up pretty much to anyone.
And they went toe-to-toe with Arkansas. It wasn't until – because I went back and I watched the end of that game. Arkansas just – it seemed to me like Vanderbilt, Arkansas defensively, and I don't know how you feel about Arkansas's defense now. I know a little while back you weren't as big on them. I said I thought they've improved, and then they go on and get blasted by Florida, and their defense just collapses. And I think that was as much of a matchup issue as it was playing in the swamp. But I think Florida probably wins that game no matter where you play them. Florida's just that good this year; they really are. But I do think Arkansas's defense has played a little bit better, and you saw that at the end of that Vanderbilt game. Like, their guards were frustrated. If you watch the final 2 minutes, like, Vanderbilt, nothing worked. Shots weren't falling. Arkansas, throughout some of that second half, they were forcing bad shots and bad looks. I mean, Vanderbilt went, I think it was 6 straight scoreless possessions, and they're a top 15 offense in the country. That's unheard of for them. So I do think, and that's one of the reasons why I went back and I changed it over to Arkansas, because maybe their defense maybe they're starting to kind of figure it out. They weren't getting beat off dribble drives as often. They were collapsing better, although I still have issues with Pringle getting pushed out of the lane a little too easily, as often as he does. But yeah, I kind of wonder if this isn't going to carry over into postseason. Arkansas doesn't just go on a Final Four run. Now, again, this isn't official. I'm going to, the first game's coming up. We've got the 19th, right? Isn't the 19th when we get our first games? Yeah, it looks like you've got Wisconsin. So we have until the 19th to make it officially official. So we got 2-3 days there. But yeah, I'm buying in on the SEC, and I'm buying in on Arkansas. Now, Tennessee and Virginia, again, like I said, that one I may switch that to Tennessee. I don't know yet.
I have Virginia winning that game.
Do you? You got Virginia. And that's where I'm at the moment. Like I said, I'm only going to do probably 2 brackets. I'm going to take them as serious as I can. And,
well, I'm doing 2 that are actually me. I have Texas Tech beating Alabama too.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not buying the SEC at all.
Brim says no. Florida's not unbeatable.
Hey, Brim's back.
I'm not saying did I say they're unbeatable or did someone in the chat?
Well,
I don't think I
Vanderbilt
said
beat them, so clearly they're not unbeatable.
Yeah, they're not unbeatable. I just think I believe as I talked myself into it making this bracket, they didn't give a shit about the SEC tournament. And I know we're not supposed to say that because Arkansas just won it. But like I watched them play, and they played so much better than that at the end of the year on the road or at home. They just were so much better than that. I just listen. They won one, and then they got walloped in the second one. If you watch that game, they just didn't seem like they were in that game. Like I don't think they gave a damn. They're ready, and they want to be prepared for the NCAA tournament. But it has more to do with some of these matchups though. Like Clemson, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not buying them as even an 8 seed. The play-ins that they got to play, obviously you're going to favor Florida in that. Watch, see, I'm sitting there cursed them. They're going to get knocked out of the first round.
I do want to just do something because Brim is here.
Okay.
Brim is in the chat.
Okay.
I do want to remind chat and everybody watching a couple weeks ago when Brim and I said that Arkansas was a 4 seed, maybe a 3 seed, but
okay, buddy.
Seed. And Ty said, not even sure they're a 5 seed, they're a 6 seed, maybe.
At that time.
Brim, are you there? I need
at
you back
that
up.
Time, damn it. I said at that time.
I called it. Just like I called the end of the season. Just like I called the end of the season with only losing to Bama and Florida, and I called the rest of the season. I was right.
Yeah, no, you did. I'm not saying you were wrong there, but
I called the seed too.
When we were talking about that was shortly after Florida just frog stomped Arkansas.
I just knew what I knew, Ty.
Actually, I think it might have been before. It might have been a little bit longer. It may have been before the Alabama game, before the overtime. But at the time, their defense, I mean, I was harder on their defense than you were. Their post play, their bigs, guards getting beat off the dribble. The offense was fine. I had no issue with the offense at any point this year. Maybe a couple of games where you just kind of wondered what they were doing as far as shot selection. But I bought into the offense, but the defense I was so down on. And I did not think they were going to win the SEC tournament. Obviously, they're a 5 seed if they lose that game. I think they still would have been a 5 seed if they had lost to Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt flipped that game. 4
seed and us as a 5 seed going into the game, even though we were higher ranked.
Yeah, they did. Even though we'd already beaten the hell out of them too.
And even though we beat them by 30, yeah.
And that's the other part of it too, just not getting the benefit of the doubt from the selection committee. I based on what I thought. Did you see that Lenardi, and we give him shit, did you see his bracket apparently was, someone might look this up, I guess his bracket was freaking great this year, and I was thinking that's got to be a first in a long time, because he is normally not very accurate, okay, compared to some of the other brackets. I saw somewhere on Twitter where his bracket, you may have to go to Twitter and search it or something. Apparently his bracket did really well. Top Tier wanted me to retweet something. Okay, I got you, Top Tier. If you're in chat, I got you. Yeah, so I guess we got to give him his flowers. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it wasn't as good. Someone was just trying to pump him up a little bit. All right, we're almost to an hour 30. So this was there's so many other things we could have talked about on the show. There's so much over the weekend. But again, I want to say, and I said this on, and I'll probably bring it up again later in the week. We did pass 2 million total views, Tim.
Nice. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody.
And apparently I did this and I missed it. We did this a little while back. I kind of stopped keeping count because really I'm trying to get Patreon going. And, there's always this, I'm always kind of juggling, like, what am I talking about? What am I talking about on the very public Tuss Talk YouTube show? And then what content am I pushing on Patreon? So I'm always kind of juggling that. And that's kind of what I've been keeping up with the last couple of months. So I lost count, but apparently we passed over 2 million total views. And I just want to bring that up one more time. And like I said, I'll probably bring it up again. Can't believe we did that. I never imagined when I started this that we'd ever hit 1 million, and the channel did. So that's great. All the way back to when we were Pig Trail Network here. So shout out to, again, the help from Travis Ford and his sponsorship with Direct Service Overhead, and of course Tim here coming on the Monday Night Lights, and some of the stuff, the content we've created over the last year and a half or so. Like it's maybe 2 years. It's been a fun ride, man. I did not think this channel would hit 2 million views. That's incredible. We're actually knocking on the door of like 2.1, so we're doing really well. And I appreciate the love and the support. You guys have no clue how much that means to me. It really does. It means a lot. Kind of upset with myself that I let it go and not catch it when it happened, but that's okay. At least we're here now. It's exciting. So we will be back. I'll be back later in the week. Obviously, we got a game to play. Arkansas and Hawaii going to play on the 19th at 3:25. That's a weird time for tip-off, but I'm here for it. That is, I cannot wait to do the post-game for that, assuming it goes our way, right? But that's going to be Thursday. It's going to be tricky because I picked my kids up at 3:10. So I don't know how I'm going to make this work, but I'm going to be here. I may just get the kids out of class earlier. Tell them I got a game to watch. No, I know what I'll do. I'll pause the game on Hulu. I'll run and pick them up early, like at 3:00, and then I'll be back just in time.
So you don't have one of those dash things that you can put your phone on while you drive over to your kid's school.
Yeah, I do that. I actually did that in the first. I think it was the first SEC game, the Arkansas game. I had to go get dinner or something. I put the phone up on the dash. So March 19th, 3:25 p.m. Arkansas currently a 15.5-point favorite. We will have the prediction up before Thursday. Might get it up tonight or tomorrow, but that prediction will be up in Discord. So if you guys want to continue to munch on that XP, baby, that's where it'll be at. So. Already told my boy checking out. Yeah. Ticket prices were gross for the game. Were they? I bet they were, especially for Arkansas. For Cal, everyone wants to be there. Even the haters want to go watch Arkansas and Coach Cal play. They may not admit it. So, all right. Well, again, shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company, Travis Ford and the boys keeping it real. Same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than the best in Central Arkansas. You know how to get a hold of them, 501-244-3667. Remember, free estimates. And they've got you covered, man. 24/7, 365 days a year, they got your back. Just give them a call, or you can click the little code on the screen, or you can actually, it's not up on the screen, but you can check the link down below. And if you want to get a hold of them, they got a new website up too. It's actually really fancy. So, I got tagged on the Lenardi. Here it is. Really quick. Appreciate you, Hootie. Here's how Joe Lenardi did with his final bracket compared to the actual bracket. 68 of 68 on the field.
Wow. Holy
cow. Okay, so that was right. Wow. So I guess we owe him an apology. Holy cow. At large, he's 37 of 37. The exact seeding, 57 of 68. And then, okay, these are personal best, 67 of 60. Okay, so, wow. I know Joe's good at this, but this is just wild. That's coming from Aaron Bracey. I don't know who this is. He covers, okay, he's a media member. But, all right, well, congrats, Joe Lenardi. That's pretty incredible. So, all right, we got to give him his flowers. There you go.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. We'll be back probably Wednesday. Now, there is a possibility there won't be a Wednesday show, and we just go straight to the Thursday post game, and that'll be our next show. We've done a show every day since Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. This is 4. Damn, is it really 4 straight days of content? Yeah. So I probably won't be back until the post game on Thursday. Who knows, right? I know we've got spring camp to talk about. By the way, Patreon supporters, I've got some intel I'm going to share with you about spring camp. So if you're a Patreon supporter, pay attention to that. If you're not one, sign up. Spring camp information. I've been going back and forth in a group chat with some folks. I got boots on the ground there. So I'm getting some pretty good information. So I'll share that on Patreon in the actual Tuss Talk with Ty Patreon site, not Discord, but on the Patreon site. I'll get you guys all filled in. So, all right, that is it. Appreciate you, Tim, and live chat. Thank you guys so much. And for those of you in the post live chat, love you too. We will see you most likely on Thursday. You guys be good. Go Hogs. My button's stuck.
We're still here.
Uh-oh. Wait, what's it doing? Oh, no, no! Who you gonna get?